Hi everybody, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Amy from Neurotic Mom Bakes and today is carrot cake day. Carrot cake's one of my favorites. It's right up there with gingerbread cake because it has a lot of the same kind of warm spices in there. And then I'm going to show you my cream cheese frosting that goes perfect with this. Now this works for both round cake layers or sheet cake or cupcakes. And I'm going to do a sheet cake and cupcakes for you today. Okay, in here I already have 1 cup of granulated sugar. And I'm going to add 1 cup of brown sugar. 1 cup right there. Then I'm going to measure out 3/4 of a cup of vegetable oil, or canola oil also works. And then, secret ingredient number 1, 1/4 of a cup of molasses. So I'm gonna pour this into here until I reach 1 cup. If you don't have molasses, go ahead and just do 1 cup of oil. But this just adds a nice depth of flavor. Okay, I'm gonna add this in here. This one you can do by hand or you can just use a hand mixer. There we go. Pretty good. Now I'm going to add 6 eggs. If you remember to take your eggs out ahead of time, which I never do, room temperature eggs will give a better rise to a cake. So if you forget though, I just have my eggs sitting in a bowl of some really warm water for about 5 to 10 minutes, and that will bring them to room temperature. So let's start cracking those. I always crack them in a separate container first, usually, just in case I get shells in there, or every once in a while there will be like a bloody egg and I will just discard that altogether. It's fine to eat, but it just is unappetizing to me. Okay, just add them 2 at a time, mixing after each addition. Okay, and then 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Now for the dry ingredients, I already have them measured out into here. For the dry ingredients, I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of salt, and then for the spices, you can vary it however you wish, but I have 1 tablespoon of cinnamon and then 1/4 teaspoon each of nutmeg and cloves. You can just do cinnamon if you want. You don't have to do the nutmeg and cloves. You can add a little more nutmeg and cloves. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna put half of this in. Just until it's barely incorporated. And then secret ingredient number 2 is 1/2 cup of sour cream. If you do not have sour cream on hand, milk or buttermilk will work. This will just give it lots of moisture and a little more flavor. And then at this point, I'm gonna put my mixer away because I don't want to overmix. And I'm gonna add in the rest of the flour and then the other ingredients. Okay, I'm just gonna gently fold this in. All right, just until it's barely combined, because you're gonna keep stirring as you add the carrots and the other ingredients. So you are going to need about 1 pound of carrots, which measures out to be about 2.5 cups or 450 grams. That's about 4 to 5 like average size carrots. So I have almost enough here, but I'm just gonna grate a few more to get my 2.5 cups. Okay. Add that and that. Now, if you just like the carrots in there, you can stop there. However, I like all the extra add-ins. So I'm going to add 1 cup of shredded coconut and 1 cup of crushed pineapple that has been really well drained. You can also add 1 cup of like walnuts or raisins are good. But I'm just gonna stick with the carrots, pineapple, and coconut. That's my favorite. There's my coconut. Now for the pineapple, you want to drain it really well. So what I'm gonna do, I have some paper towels here, and I'm gonna kind of triple layer them. And I'm just gonna grab like a slotted spoon and try to leave as much of the juice in there as possible. Now I'm gonna go over to my sink and I'm actually going to kind of wring all the juice out because there is just so much. And then I'm gonna come back over here and just measure out about a cup. Okay, and then just continue folding this in. I have preheated my oven to 325 degrees. And for cake rounds and a sheet cake that's gonna be fairly deep, it's gonna be about 30 to 40 minutes of cooking. For cupcakes, it's only gonna be 15 to 17 minutes, so make sure you watch it. Okay, I have a standard size ice cream scoop. I'm just gonna level it. This is quite a big batch, so you could easily half this. This is gonna make enough for a dozen cupcakes. I have an 8x8 pan here. You can do a jelly roll pan or a 9x13 will work. And I'm gonna have enough for some cake rounds as well. Okay, I'm gonna set this aside. I've lightly greased this. Just gonna start. I'm going to fill it about halfway full or about an inch deep. If you're doing it in a jelly roll pan, it's going to be a lot shallower, so it will cook in a shorter amount of time, about 18 to 20 minutes. Okay, that looks good, and I'm gonna go ahead and fill some cake rounds. All right, for this cake, I like to spray with cooking spray, put a liner in, and then spray again. This goes. All right, we're going in the oven. All right, now let's move on to my cream cheese frosting, which is the perfect pairing for this carrot cake. Here is this cream cheese frosting that is so good. Okay, for a true cream cheese frosting, you want to use more cream cheese than butter. So we're gonna start with, I have 12 ounces of cream cheese here. Full fat cream cheese. And then I have a half a cup or another 4 ounces of unsalted butter. Butter is slightly softened, but I did pull the cream cheese just straight out of the fridge. It works just fine. Okay, we're gonna start by just whipping this together for a minute or two. Just until it's kind of fluffy and it's all incorporated together. And then I have 2 pounds or 8 cups of powdered sugar here. I'm gonna just add a half at a time. I've never successfully made buttercream without it. Just, you've sent me all your tricks and tips, they don't work. It just flies everywhere. We're gonna add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of cream. There's 2, we'll start with that. And a pinch of salt. Just brings out the flavor. And we will add a little bit more of the powdered sugar. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add 1 more tablespoon of the cream. Okay, I'm just gonna check the consistency on this and see, it's a little stiff for me. So I'm gonna add another tablespoon of the cream. All right, let's check it now. I think that's pretty good. Okay, I think we're gonna leave that there. I'm just gonna whip it a little bit more, wash my hands. Okay, and there's our delicious cream cheese frosting. You can put it in a piping bag and pipe your cupcakes. You can spread it on a sheet cake. You can pipe on a sheet cake, make your cake layers with it. So good. So I'm gonna show you some cupcakes, how I would decorate some cupcakes and a sheet cake. Okay, I have some carrot cake cupcakes out of the oven and they're fully cooled down. I'm gonna start with that and then I'll move on to my sheet cake. So I have my cream cheese frosting in here and I've just put it in a piping bag with the Wilton 1M tip. And just for some decoration today, I'm gonna do a rosette. And then on this little unfinished corner, how cute is this little sprinkle scoop? I'm just gonna put some sprinkles along that corner. And then I'm gonna get one of these cute Easter bunnies and just stick it right. There we go, right like that. And we'll move on to the next one. But you could top these any way you wanted. This is just springy and Easter's coming up. You could sprinkle the whole thing. You could do no sprinkles. You could do a swirl instead of a rosette. There's some cute little cupcakes. I'm gonna set those aside and we'll get out the sheet cake. And I'll show you another little fun way to decorate it. Now I've got my little sheet cake here and it's all the way cooled down. And I'm just gonna start by just spreading this frosting over the top. I'm not going all the way to the edges because I'm just gonna put a little decorative border on this just for fun. And I personally I love this frosting so much that I like it pretty thick. Now, I have just some blue buttercream in a piping bag with the Wilton 4B tip, and I'm just gonna make some little bunny rabbits. I'm gonna make 4, well, maybe I'll try to make 9. I'm gonna make some little bunny rabbits. I'm gonna start with the ears. And then a little circle on top, and then I'll just find I have these cute little chocolate, like sprinkles, but they're chocolate. They're really good. And put those on for like a little bow. Bunny rabbits, and then just to finish, I just have my Wilton 1M and I'm just gonna pipe some stars around the edge just to finish it off. And this is just one of so many different ways you could decorate a sheet cake. You could do all piping, you could put little carrots on there, with some orange buttercream and green buttercream. There's just so many different things. Okay, just for fun, I'm just gonna get my cute little sprinkle scoop and just finish it off with some little springy sprinkles around the edge. How fun was that to make? There's my little Easter bunny carrot cake sheet cake. So much fun. And my cute little cupcakes. Just in time for Easter or spring or any time actually. Okay, so I hope you'll give my carrot cake recipe a try. I'm really curious how many of you like all those extra additions like the pineapple and coconut and raisins and walnuts and all that stuff, or if you just like the plain carrots. So hopefully this was informative and gave you some ideas to dress up your cupcakes and sheet cakes. And if you want to see more tutorials like this one, just make sure you subscribe to my channel. And we will see you next time.